Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 58, 108 days of internal alchemy with me, Sara. I'm here to clear every ounce of survival patterns and survival imprints from my body. So, Simba and I have been through a lot of changes lately. This is a huge transition year for us. So, basically, everything is changing in our lives, and we are transitioning with life, lifestyle, business, marriage, everything at once. And we're changing the whole setup of our business. We're changing, I mean, everything in our lives is changing. And change means challenge. And we also come from the most challenging times in our lives. And now everything is starting to fall into place, but everything is changing at the same time. So when everything is uncertain, where everything is like peaceful yet chaotic, the level of capacity that is required to be able to hold all of these changing parts at the same time, it requires me and Simba to really, really, really step into our own practice. So it is our own teachings that we fall back to when we are going through these times in our lives. So it's almost like we lost everything in order for everything to open up. And it's like our whole lives are taken and then flipped and now progressing. So it's like there's a forward, there was a huge, it's like turning a compost. And then the momentum from that is like massive. So there's like waves and ripples. And because my main intention is human potential, and my core skill is the energetics, and combining that with Simba's modality, internal alchemy, it's like I'm adding that to the momentum, and then I run with it. And then I have to document that, and that's what I'm doing. So welcome to day 58, the perfect day to retire. So what do we mean by that? We'll see. Start moving. So as we are going through all of these changes, the only way to embody it is to alchemize it as we go. So I'm taking the opportunity to ride the challenges exactly as I teach them. So I'm embodying my own teachings as we go along. So we are now on day 58 of the documentation. And this is really a snapshot of the work that I do every day. This is just me showing up, sharing it and showing it, and, because that's what's needed for me to step out and be more visible. And, so I just share what I do. It's like a lifestyle snapshot. So I naturally sit down and start opening up the spine. I use these pendulum movements for momentum and connection. I follow the body to guide me. So I start somewhere where I feel drawn, and then I let the body guide me. I use the breath and breathe into the spaces where I'm moving. So I'm opening up the fascia with the movement, and I'm breathing in oxygens into the cells to start the alchemy process. And the alchemy process is the movement of whatever doesn't belong. It's in our fascia, it's in our tissues. So I go where it's stiff and I open up. So I open up the body so that consciousness can flow freely. And I realize that everything that is painful, that is stiffness, that is just acidity, dry fascia, and that is where everything is kind of stored because there's stagnation there. So there needs to be life force. And oxygen is pure life force. For the body, for the human cells, the reaction when they come in contact with oxygen is that it's 100% safe. It's 100% life force. They just open up and merge. So oxygen is your number one thing. And the fascia is what stores everything. It's like the library. So when you start to move, so basically it's, when people talk about the Akashic records and stuff like that, yeah, you get access to the Akashic records because you open up the library inside the fascia. So when you open up the consciousness and the awareness, you also get access, direct access to the Akashic records. And that's why I can talk like this, because when I just sit down and allow and I release the pressure and the fear of whatever is holding me back to speak, and I do that very good under the pressure. That's how this comes out. And then I alchemize at the same time. So because my body is opening up, I'm also accessing my own records and my own information. And the Akashic records is just the field. It's the same thing. It's the life. You're just accessing. It's like the soul accessing the drop, accessing the ocean. It's all God, the soul, and the intelligence. It's like you get access to the intelligence, and then you become one with the intelligence. And when you open this thing, when you open it, it all comes through. So you don't have to think about who you are, you just are. That's why the highest manifestation is to just be, because you don't operate from fear, you don't operate from people pleasing, or how is the world gonna, what is the response that I'm avoiding? It's like you just are, and then the world reacts, and the world responds, and whatever the world responds is the truth, because when you are the truth, you only get truth back. When you operate from illusion, you get illusion back. So that's what I mean with human potential. I want to find out what I am and who I am beyond the survival pattern. So I just go deeper and deeper into my body, and that's what I need to start documenting. So when we open up the spine, we start to open up the flow for the intelligence in the body to reach every single cell. So I want to find out what happens when that channel is open. And I already know, because the Kundalini opens up, the life force opens up, and the sexual energy opens up. And the feminine comes online automatically. So the stronger I get, the more open I get, the more hydrated the cells become, the more toxins I release, and the more emotions and belief systems I release. Everything just organizes back to itself, to its original state. That's why I'm in a little bit of pain. My posture is correcting. Simba's bow legs are straightening out, so he's been in tremendous pain. But that just means there's a lot of belief systems, there's a lot of illusion going on there. And then, so I'm documenting this process, because this is an up and down process, and I don't want anyone to believe that to get the it's like it's the real deal. You got to face yourself on every level, but the reward is incredible. And this is what me and Simba have been studying and implementing on ourselves for the past decade, and then working, studying. It's like people who want to work with us, it's like the case study, case study, case study, case study. So we've been working with people for a decade together, and then we came in with our own previous skills from there. Okay, so now the body wants to open the psoas. So I just allow. So this is what I do. And this is what I want to normalize, hanging out in your body. So now I lean back. I'm folded on my knees. So I lean back and I stretch the quads and the psoas. So this is, and it also strengthens my core. Oof. So it's about going as deep as you can into the body and just flowing with it. So that's what my body wanted to. So I'm just showcasing you what it can look like. Okay, so now a lot of energy is moving. Okay, so let's stand up. Bring out the staff. So now I just stand up to ground. So now I stand up and then I make sure my mind is not involved, because the mind is going to say that, whatever, whatever ideas it can come up with. So now I ground the energy. I send it down my legs. I anchor my attention at the middle of the stick. And I allow the chest to open up. I want to open up this area. And I add the legs. So I'm leaning back a little bit to really open up. So I'm not exercising. I'm allowing my body to consciously open up and show me what it wants to do. And this is what it wants to do. So I trust it. Now I change the direction because I can feel there's a shift in the backside in one direction. And this is the more difficult direction. So I should probably start with this, but I'm not even aware of that when we move into this position. I just don't, my awareness is not there yet. I'm just following. So now, again, I'm remembering, okay, I should do this side more than the other. But that's like that. Okay, so I gather information and then I lose it. And then when I come back to it, I remember that I've been here before. And that's basically how also lifetimes works. It's like, I've been here before. I've done this before. So I'm remembering something. I'm adding the legs because I really want to strengthen my legs. Okay, now I'm hitting something in my right arm. So I just stay with that. And there's like lactic acid in my left arm. Because I don't ever override the body, but I can allow myself to stay here in the uncomfortableness. And just breathe. So now my heart rate goes up. I make sure I keep my root lock. I send down the emotional energy down my legs. Breathe into the uncomfortableness. Breathe down the legs. Okay. Okay, so now I can feel the energy wants to go through down, and the hips are what's keeping the energy from moving down. So then I okay, start coughing. So now I start to consciously, with my awareness, send the energy down the legs, activating the bubbling springs and my calves. The calves are like I think I've spoken about this, but you know, the men's obsession with calves that no one understands? Am I the only one who have paid attention to this? Anyway, if you have strong calves, it basically means you're a Superman. You know, it's like if you have, that's where everything stems. And I can understand that, because when I activate, so that's why I'm so focusing on the ankles, because I'm noticing that when I'm opening up the ankles, this part starts to get strengthened, and you can see that my calves are starting to get toned, and it's starting to move up the thighs, and yeah, it's happening, it's working, you know. So I'm moving, I'm opening up the energy, and I'm adding the stick to, so I'm opening up the fascia. So basically I'm playing. And today or yesterday, my mother posted in the Telegram group that she really loved playing with the stuff. She used to do ballet. So this is one for you, Mom. Go to your ballet moves, you know, when you do this one. And then you can so when I do this my foot, I don't know if you can hear that, but they just crack open. And so it's like doing different twists and turns. So basically it's dancing, you know, it's like we're opening up the body for dancing. That's literally what we're doing. So we're waking the body up, we're activating everything. And it's not exercise, it's not punishment, it's like we're awakening something. And we use playfulness, curiosity, patience, and understanding and love and remembrance to do it. Well, poops and the hip. Yeah, so now, so you just follow your energy levels. Sometimes it's going to be high, sometimes it's going to be low. But I just move, now my body, it has to move every day. Today is Sunday, and we didn't go to the gym, and I've been depressed all morning. And like Eeyore, you know, like sad. Like the turtle meme, you know. And I'm like, Jesus, I have to do this live to kind of remember who I am or something. I don't know, but the live was the only thing that I could. It's like the live is a portal to another dimension. Because now I'm happy. And I was sitting right over there, like glooming. And that's what I want to show you. Like, this is a roller coaster. This thing can make you feel like you're insane, but you're not. You're just breaking free, breaking into your body, and the nervous system is going to go haywire. The emotions are going to go haywire. So you better remember who you are, you know? And apparently I'm here running backwards and forwards with a stick in my hand. And that's fucking ludicrous to me. How did I end up here? What's happening? Who's in charge? Where's the complaint box? This is ridiculous. But it also makes me laugh. And all of a sudden I'm having fun again. You know, it's like life is a roller coaster. You just gotta ride it. And now I'm just riding into, I'm just letting this energy. I'm just letting the feeling inside of me. I'm just letting go of the trust. I'm letting go into trust and just letting go of control and just see where life takes me. And the only thing I have to do is sit back and relax and do what I love. So that's why I am retiring from any kind of work. I can't work anymore. It's just not possible. I can't show up for anything that resembles any kind of work. My body is just absolutely refusing. So I realized, okay, I have to retire from whatever I was doing and, see what comes next energetically. So a week ago, 10 days ago, and you move because I'm just talking here. Oh, I'm so happy I raised you so well. I knew this was coming. The transmissions, the breakthroughs, my own documentation. But it's like my body is like, okay, you rested enough and now I want to move again. Incredible. So I can't only show up for the things that I love. And what I love to do is to help other people, through this process. And that's not work for me. That just lights me up on a level that is just, I'm in my absolute environment. And that's also why I do this, because I know I'm purging so much, like from the past and the challenges, and I'm getting down to the nitty-gritty, and it's like, ugh, it's not nice. And we just got to be true about that. But then what's left is just the work with other people. There's just nothing that is more fun, because that's what this whole thing is supposed to go through this in order to help others. That's just what I'm made for. That's what I signed up for on this. It's like, that's what I'm here for. So that's why I'm also need to start documenting it. I need to, open up my voice and become myself and show people that, okay, you got to start somewhere, Maybe you're not proud of everything that you find, but that's part of the journey. We just got to face it. There's no other way out. But I really want to showcase that there's such a massive reward on the other side, and that it's fine, because when we can have compassion for ourselves, then we can have compassion for others. Forgive them, Father, they do not know what they do. Exactly. So now opening up the back and the front. So I'm moving energy from up to down. Okay. See if you want to tremor. So we tremor at the end. So the nervous system work is the deeper knowledge and the awareness of what is happening. Then we have the breath. That's the oxygen that is bringing the memory from the soul to the cell. Remember who you are. It's time to wake up. You're not dead. It's time to come back online. There's going to be food for here for you. There's going to be safety here for you. There's going to be nurture here for you. We will take care of whatever emotions you've been through. It's safe to come back now. Basically, that's the message from the oxygen. And then we send the oxygen down to the fascia into the fascia, and that's the work. That's the that's the digging into the fascia. It's the oxygen and the fascia together. That's the heavy lifting. That's what we come back to. But that's when we move the energy. That's when we start to release the energy in the movement. That's the reward from the heavy lifting. And the tremors is how we release the fear from the body. So we kind of go in and dig and try. We do CPR where the soldiers, the movement is sending out the soldiers to the cells that are dying, basically. So we're coming back online and we're doing it. So we're not overriding the energy of the system, because we need to work as one unit. So we're slowly increasing. So we go 2 steps forward and then we go back. So sometimes I will show up with a lot of transmission. Sometimes we will do this. Sometimes we will do that. That is to move many different things around. So we haven't come back to the eyes for a bit. So now we use it to ground the energy. Everything in the body is multidimensional. So from now on, I will only work from creativity and joy. And helping other people is my hobby. And that's how I will get paid. But it's not work, because I will never ever show up for work again. I just play, I create magic, I create, experiences, multidimensional experiences where I just remember who you are. Remember. It's okay. It's like waking up from amnesia and not knowing what year it is. It's like that can be the reaction, when we kind of, whoa, this is who I am. I'm not made for hard labor like this. This is like, there's so many centuries of this depletion of the body that is the poverty mindset. And that's an energy, that's a belief system, it's an emotion, it's a real experience, So that's what people are saying, like, oh, it's ancestral. We inherit it's been absolute savage on this planet. Just, look back in the timeline, it's been like, wow, it's been hard. And we need to clear that out from the cells, because the cells are still believing that, it's partially in our DNA, but it's not real. So we gotta kind of dig through the sewer system, and then there's something else on the other side. Ta-da! Okay. So as the kind of fire and the sewage is kind of leaving my system, the need for these really fiery transmissions are also, they're like coming to an end, it feels like, or that there's something else that is kind of come through. It's like everything is just wanting to kind of settle down. So now the bigger waves are coming. So in the beginning, the tremors are very small. So when they are very rapid, they are opening up energy lines that hasn't been awake in a while. And then when they are starting to come online, that's when the big waves, so the small waves is to open up, and then the big waves can kind of come through. And that's when these kind of movements starts to come online by itself. So that's also why my transmissions are becoming fiery when I allow myself to show when I work with the energy, because then I speak it instead of dancing it, you know. So I have a lot of energy that I need to dispatch every day, that I need to work through, because so as long as I have stored capacity, there is energy that wants to come through. So this is what I want to document, because this is my theory. And I mean, I can see that it's working, that as I face my fears, as I move deeper into my system, it just falls off. So I'm just hoping it's not going to fall off too quick to have extra skin. And Simba was like, "Oh, come on, Sara, that's the fascia, and you know it. It's the hydration." So it's about, so now I'm super dehydrated because I forgot my thing down there. So when we do this work, you have to hydrate. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Okay. My channel is open, so I gotta close it now. 31 minutes. Okay. So from a gloomy day to retirement and a new lifestyle of just creativity and just go with what makes me happy and what makes my passion flow. That feels good in the heart, I can tell you. Okay, I love you. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you enjoy it. Comment if you have questions. Mastermind begins August 26th. That's where I will pour in all my magic. If you want to transform with me, that's the place to go. Bye-bye.